What's up, guys? My name's Captain Dave, and finally, welcome back to the Captain's Quarters. It has been too long. It really has been too long. I feel like for the last 3-4 months, I've had to start every video by apologizing. Sorry it's taken so long. Sorry for the delay, but what can I say? Being an adult sucks. We have responsibilities and work and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, enough about that. Finally, the Captain's Quarters is back, and as you can probably tell by the video length and by videos where I've previously mentioned this, I've actually changed the format of the Captain's Quarters. I've wanted to make a shorter video that's more to the point, to your questions. You're getting the facts and the answers that you guys want to know. So, with that being said, let's jump into this with the first question. Captain Dave, are you going to do a walkthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda? Hell yes, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect, or the Mass Effect series, is my favourite game or game franchise or game series that I have ever played. I am so excited for the release of Mass Effect Andromeda. I actually booked a week and a half off work just to play this game. I am so excited, and from everything I've seen, from the trailers, from the snippets of gameplay that I've seen, and I've been trying to avoid it at this point because we're reaching spoiler territory, it has that same feel, that same humour, that same drama, that same emotional connection with all the characters. So I am so excited for Mass Effect Andromeda. Yes, I will be doing a walkthrough of it, but as you guys all know, I like to play the game first. I like to thoroughly know what I'm doing before I do a walkthrough, because it wouldn't really be much of a walkthrough if I had no clue what I was doing. So I'm going to play Mass Effect Andromeda fully first, and then it may be a couple of weeks, it may be a month, maybe a couple of months, but I will eventually be doing a walkthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda, because it's a long game, and we all know this, and with work, and as you've been able to tell recently by all the delays I've had with videos and stuff, I get kept very busy with work. I get about like once a week to actually sit down and record videos, and because Mass Effect's such a long game, I want to get at least a huge portion of it, if not finished, before I upload the first episode. I know I'll probably jump the gun, because I'll get excited and I'll just want to upload it so you guys can see it, but I'm going to try and get a huge portion of it recorded before I start uploading it. So it may be a little while, but there is definitely a walkthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda coming. With that in mind, I do just want to mention, I'm very much trying to avoid spoilers at this point. What constitutes as a spoiler for me is absolutely anything to do with the game, no matter how minor or how silly. If I haven't seen it or experienced it with my own two eyes, I consider that a spoiler. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be excited to talk to me about this and want to know my thoughts and opinions, and I really want to talk to you guys about it. You're the only people I know in real life, I guess is the best way of saying it, that actually love Mass Effect as much as I do. So I know you probably have a lot of questions, and I really want to talk to you guys about it as well, but please at least wait about a week or so. And then I'll be happy to talk to you about Mass Effect Andromeda, but I really don't want it spoiled for me. So please, 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 just save your questions and your comments and your thoughts about the game until it's been released for at least a few days or for a week, just so I have a chance to play it and experience that firsthand for myself. Captain Dave, will you be doing a walkthrough of the PS4 exclusive SpiderMan? Yes, indeed, I will be playing the PS4 exclusive SpiderMan. That is, if it ever gets a release date, or hell, even a title. I'll accept a title at this point. But at this current time, I have no idea when the game's even going to be released. But when it is released, I will definitely be doing a walkthrough of it as soon as humanly possible. I don't currently own a PS4 at the moment, but thanks to you lovely people that have been donating to me each month on Patreon, I've been saving up that money that you guys have been donating every month to eventually be able to afford a PS4 when Spider-Man, at some point in the future, gets released. But yes, if we ever get a release date for that game, I will definitely be playing it. Captain Dave, what are your thoughts on the Marvel and Square Enix trailer? At this point, we don't really know too much about it, other than from what we've seen in the teaser trailer, and it was just that, just a teaser trailer. If memory serves, I think it was Captain America's shield, Thor's hammer, and you saw like a bit of Iron Man's armor with some sparks flying over it. That's all we really know about this point. It literally was just teasing us of an upcoming project. However, if it is Square Enix making it, that's got me quite excited, because I believe they made one of the Spider-Man games. Could have been the Amazing Spider-Man games? But actually, no, I think it was Edge of Time. I mean, it's not really important, but they made one of the Spider-Man games, and I love those games. So to see that Marvel and Square Enix are teaming up again for an Avengers project has got me excited. More importantly, it's got me excited that Marvel is finally making an actual proper game, not a mobile game. And it seems like for these last couple of years, they've been really, not obsessed, but they've been really focusing on the mobile games. It must obviously be doing well, but I mean, Spider-Man Unlimited, I played that, and I enjoyed it for quite some time. I was obsessed with it. Obsessed with it for a small amount of time. But it's good to see them actually making a game again, which isn't a Spider-Man game. And because I was like, since like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, everyone's been asking for Ultimate Alliance 3, and I've always said it's never going to happen. But to see Marvel actually making a game, which hopefully isn't going to be a mobile game, that's got me very excited, and it's sparking the flames for a hope for one day for a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Captain Dave, will you ever be finishing The Walking Dead Season 2? Unfortunately, I will not be finishing The Walking Dead Season 2. When I was playing it at the time and uploading it at the time, I was already getting a little bit burnt out on the series. I was already had enough. I was just trying to get through it, trying to get to the end, because I didn't want to leave you guys hanging with a walkthrough. Fallout New Vegas. But then whatever happened, and I stopped doing YouTube for a long time. And at this point, coming back, I just have no desire to play the game again. If I was to play the game, you'd be able to tell with the commentary. It would just be so forced. You could tell that I was bored, and you could tell that I don't want to play it anymore. So, unfortunately, no, there'll be no more Telltale The Walking Dead. I hate leaving a series unfinished. I really, really do, as if you can tell by all the jokes and the jibs I get about not finishing Fallout New Vegas. So you can tell I do not want to add another game to that list. But unfortunately, I just really have no desire to play it at this moment. The only way I'd ever be able to finish it is if I just recorded it with no commentary. But then, as many of you pointed out, there's no point doing that, because then you could just watch any other video. So unfortunately, I will not be finishing that game. At this point, it's just been too long. I have no desire left to play it. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm very sorry about that. I'm sorry if you guys were hoping and praying for that game to be finished. But I wanted to focus on other things. I wanted to focus on Batman, wanted to focus on Skyrim, and I want to focus on a few other projects that I've got going on at the moment. So unfortunately, it will not be finished, and I can only apologise. Captain Dave, what was your favourite game and movie of the past year? Okay, so favourite movie of last year would probably be Civil War. Obviously, that's not very surprising. I didn't actually see that many films last year. I think the only films I saw were Marvel and DC films. So, but yeah, Captain America, hands down, favourite film I saw last year. There's no others that are actually coming to mind right now. There probably are some better films I've seen, but Captain America Civil War was the first one that came to mind. So, in my mind, that must mean it's my favourite. It was the first one I thought of, and it was a fantastic film. I just can't get over how good that film was, especially that one fight scene. There was actually another question when you guys asked about my favourite movie moment, and it would be that fight scene in the airport. Fantastic. My only gripe was I wish there was a larger scene of them all fighting together. When they first charged at each other, and there was about 5 seconds of them all together battling in the same scene. That was fantastic. I just wish that had went on for a little longer. But then I can't really complain, because we got 15 minutes of superhero fighting action. I mean, there was that one bit when Ant-Man became really large, and then you saw a few, more of them on screen again. That was quite cool, but I just wish you saw more of them together instead of the one-on-one battles. But still, very cool, and hands down my favourite film of last year. Favourite game of last year wasn't actually a game that came out last year. It was actually came out at the very end of 2015, but I didn't really get a chance to properly play it until this last year. And in saying that, I didn't even buy, I think I bought like 1 game last year, 2 games last year. So for me, this counts as my favourite game of last year, and that's Fallout 4. I love that game. I've put so many hours into that game. And again, I know I can see the comment section right now. Dave, how do you love Fallout 4 if you haven't even finished it? Fallout Vegas walkthrough. I know. But I love it. It's such a good game. It's a game that I would love to bring to the channel far into the future, very far into the future. I mean, we've still got a long way to go with Skyrim, so let's not jump the gun and start something huge until the first huge thing is finished. But I love it. I love every part of it. I love everything you can do. I love, a lot of people didn't like the fact that the main protagonist had a voice. I loved that. I really loved that. I can see why people didn't like it, because then you could roleplay as a certain character, but then when the character is given a voice, it sort of limits your role-playing abilities. And also the dialogue wheel was a little odd. If you actually can install the mod that actually, instead of just having the one word and then you click that and then he says something else, you can actually have a mod so that the entire sentence is on each thing, like it is in Skyrim. But and when that happens, you can see sort of how lazy it's been, that you could have 4 answers and 3 of them all actually say the exact same thing. So that's kind of annoying. But other than that one gripe, I don't even know why I started talking about that. I love Fallout 4. I love everything about it. And one day I'd very much like to bring it to the channel. But as I say, way down the line. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Captain Dave, what games are you planning on doing a walkthrough of in the future? Okie pokey. So what games and walkthroughs am I planning on doing in the future? A very good question that I probably should have addressed a long time ago. So right now we've got Skyrim, we've got Batman Arkham Knight. The next game that is almost definitely going to be on the agenda is obviously Mass Effect Andromeda. It's 100% going to be a walkthrough. I just don't know at what point I'm going to get to record it, but it's definitely going to be a walkthrough. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the PS4 exclusive SpiderMan game, but that we have no idea when that game's even going to be released. So the walkthrough will just be following whenever that game is released. As I mentioned just now, Fallout 4, I'd love to one day do a walkthrough of. As I say, that is way in the future. I mean, we've got a long time till we've even finished Skyrim, so I'm talking years in the future. But yes, one day I'd love to do a Fallout 4 walkthrough. Other than that, to be honest, I don't really have much on the agenda. I sort of mused with the idea of redoing Marvel Ultimate Alliance because it was then made backwards compatible, but I didn't really see much point because it isn't a remastered. It's just the exact same game, but you can play it on a different console. So I didn't really see the point. But it's something I mused with the idea because my original Ultimate Alliance walkthrough is so old. I've changed as a person. I know so much more about Marvel now. And it seemed like it could be a good idea to redo it. But that's it's again quite a long game. So I debated with the idea, but I'm probably not going to do it just yet. Again, maybe down the future, maybe along with Fallout 4. But the other game, I actually thought about doing. And a lot of you guys are going to be shocked because of how much I said I never wanted to do this. And no, it's not Web of Shadows. I still detest that game with a fiery passion. It's actually Injustice, Gods Among Us. I've seen some of the trailers for the new Injustice, and I thought it could be quite a nice little quick game. Only be like 5 or 6 episodes, or actually I don't know how long the game is, so it could be longer. But I don't know. I've been thinking about it. The odds are I probably won't, just because with Andromeda coming out, I've got so little time to record gameplay, so little. I mean, like today, recording this is my only day off this week, and then every other day I work 10 hours a day for bare minimum wage, and life just sucks being an adult. But yeah, so I have so little time to record games. So I thought about it. It probably won't happen, but it's there. I'm more likely to play it now than I was a year ago, so there is that. So they were the most requested comments I got on my last video. However, there are a few other comments that I really do want to answer, so let's get into some of them. Captain Dave, are you sponsored by or in a partnership with anyone for your channel? And if so, how do you avoid copyright strikes with the different games that you do? Okay, so I am partnered with a company, another channel called Fullscreen. I've been partnered with them for about 4 years. I haven't actually read my contract in a while, so I don't know how much of this I can divulge. So I'm going to try and tap dance on thin ice when telling you guys some of this stuff. So there is a link on my channel to the Fullscreen website if you want to go there. If you have a YouTube channel and you would like a partnership, a sponsorship, follow the link on my channel. Tell them that I sent you. It helps me out quite a bit. But yeah, they've been quite decent. I've been with them for 4 years. There's a reason why I haven't left. They've always been decent with me. They've always helped me out if I can, or if they can. With the copyright strike things, with the games, it was a huge thing years and years ago about copyright strikes. That's why I have a habit of talking over all of the gameplay. It's just a habit I haven't been able to break, because back in the day, you needed to talk over every single bit of the gameplay, even the cutscenes, which I've never done, and I've always run the risk with that at the start. But it was because you always needed commentary over the gameplay. Now that's not so much. Now I find you can just upload gameplay and it'll be perfectly fine. The only thing you always get popped on with a copyright strike is with music. Music will always get you. It's the reason why at the start of my Batman Arkham Knight walkthrough, I had to re-upload a second version of the part 1 because of the Frank Sinatra music that was playing right at the start. A lot of you guys couldn't access it in other countries. You couldn't access it on mobile devices or tablets. It was only on desktops where the music company could run the adverts. All those adverts, I got no revenue from that. It all went to the music company. That's why I had to upload that second version with the royalty-free music, so the rest of you guys on mobile devices and tablets and in other countries could watch it. So music hits you bad. I remember there was an episode of Arkham Origins I recorded once, and there was a cutscene with Firefly, and there was just some general scoring, some general music in the background that was created for the game. But because it was longer than like 30 seconds or 50 seconds or something like that, I got popped for copyright with that. Luckily, it's still available worldwide. It's just then all the revenue goes to them, so which I don't really mind. It's barely any, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah. But no, Fullscreen, they're very much decent. If you have a YouTube channel and you'd like to go over there, there's a link on my channel, my main area of my channel on the right. I think it's right next to the Geek Space one. So yeah, follow that, and you can try and sign up to Fullscreen yourself. There's quite a few other big YouTubers on there. I can't remember their name right now. I think Smosh, is that a channel? I think they're on there. I think I remember seeing their name. So, but yeah, Fullscreen, they're quite decent. I do recommend. Captain Dave, how much time is spent in post-production, and how much longer is it than recording? Quite a bit of time is actually spent in post-production. There is more time spent in post-production than there is in the actual recording of the gameplay by far. So, right, let's break this down a little bit.
Captain's gotta teach stuff!
Okay, so when I record my gameplay, I try to record in 2-hour stretches. Any longer than that, I find my commentary becomes a bit lackluster. I'm running out of energy, and there's a huge risk of my equipment malfunctioning. And obviously, I don't want that to happen and then lose like 2-3 hours worth of gameplay, and then having to redo it all again. Any less than that, then I haven't really produced enough content to last me more than a couple of days. So then once that's done, that just takes 2 hours. Once that's converted, which now with my new software doesn't take very long at all, I then have to begin editing it. Something like Batman is not too long. I would sit there and I watch my episode and I edit out with the audio any sniffles, any coughs, back with my old recording equipment, anytime it cut out, I'd have to edit it, resync the audio. So for the most part, if I'm editing, say, with a Batman video, I try to aim for about 20 to 25 minutes. I will sit there normally for about half hour or 40 minutes watching the episode and then having to cut out little bits where maybe I've coughed or maybe where I've talked over a cutscene. I've had to edit it into like the right place. And then I have to sort of cut off the video and find a great place to end it. Normally after a character's just said something or it's furthered the plot, that's normally when I like to end the video because it's not a cliffhanger, but it gets you invested in the next video and it's a nice ending point. I don't just like to randomly stop at just some silly point. I like it to end at a perfect point. A thing where if you're watching a TV show when an episode would end, that's where I like to try and end it. So then in total, where I've watched that episode and had to go back and edit bits, it normally takes me about 10, 20 minutes longer than the actual episode it is to edit it. The longest part is hands down uploading because my internet is just dirt. It's just horrible. Something like Skyrim takes a hell of a lot of time to edit. So long to edit because I have to get first off, let's just say I've just finished editing an episode and it's good and it's ready to go. When I go to start editing the next episode, I have to scour through the episode that I've just edited to find the key points, the key bits that push the story along, the key bits that were really pivotal to the last episode, and I get them, I chop up the entire episode, collect those individual bits and put them at the start for the previously on Skyrim. Once that's all in the right order, I then move the intro into the right place just after that, and then I can move the next episode into the right place, but then I have to go through it and do the same editing process that I did with Batman, editing out all the coughs, the sniffles, talking over cutscenes, stuff like that. And typically, I try to get Skyrim 30 to 40 minutes long. I'm actually thinking of very soon changing the schedule with Skyrim, so instead of Tuesday, Friday, it will just be Wednesday, but there'll be longer episodes instead. I think that'll be a lot better. Gives me more time to get stuff recorded, and you get a longer Skyrim episode, which, to be honest, with Skyrim, you really need a longer episode because it moves quite slowly, so I feel one longer episode is much better, but getting distracted. Yeah, so it takes longer to actually edit that. So if a normal episode is 30 to 40 minutes long, it will take me 50 minutes to an hour to get that edited with all the other stuff, the intro and all that included. So post-production, hell of a long time. This new episode of Captain's Quarters I'm doing, I'm going to have to do a lot of editing, post-editing, when I get this uploaded. I feel it'll be worth it. There's a lot of time spent in post. That's why when a lot of people ask why does it take so long to get video games up, it's I have very little time to record. Then when I do record, there's a lot of time spent in post-production, and then I've got to get the game uploaded. I would love to do daily videos back like I used to back in the day, but back in the day I had so much more time. I was uploading Mass Effect videos every day and Batman videos every other day. I had every day to sit there and record, so I could do that. But now I have at best 1 day a week to record, and so much time is spent in post-production. But I wouldn't that second bit I wouldn't change. I love spending time in post-production. I love editing. I think that's what makes a video stand out from any other video, is adding your little flair, your little touch to it. But yeah, to answer your question, a lot of time. I want to read some Marvel comics. Where shall I go and what do you recommend? If you want to read some Marvel comics, go to Marvel Unlimited. It's a digital subscription that Marvel has. It's like £10 a month or £60 a year. The £60 a year is especially a good deal. And you can read every comic they have on their website. Every Marvel comic that they've uploaded for the God knows how many years is up there. It is a fantastic deal. I've read all of the Fantastic Four, all of X-Men, all of Spider-Man, a huge portion of the Avengers. I have read so much. All the events, House of M, Civil War, Secret Invasion, Dark Reign, Spider-Verse, like a whole plethora of things I can't think of. The entire Ultimate Universe, everything is on there. It is such a good deal. Just for £60 a year, you can read all of them. All of them. You are saving yourself tens of thousands of pounds reading comics on their website, so I definitely recommend doing that. Recommendations on what to read, anything from the Ultimate Universe, Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man's amazing. If you want to start reading comics, I would suggest New Avengers, I think it's the 2004 run, Brian Michael Bendis writing it, fantastic. That's where I'd recommend starting, New Avengers. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Jessica Drew, and then loads of others join afterwards. It runs you through all of the great events. It starts off House of M, Civil War, Secret Invasion, Dark Reign. It runs through all of them. It is a great place to start reading comics. What is your favourite Spider-Man comic run? Ultimate, Spectacular, or Amazing? Ultimate Spider-Man is hands down my favourite, written by Brian Michael Bendis, and the penciling, the art done by Mark Bagley. The furthest running duo working together on a comic. They did hundreds of issues of Spider-Man together, and Ultimate Spider-Man is just fantastic. It's such a great read, and it's basically all the characters you know from Spider-Man, all the stories you know from Spider-Man, but written in the 21st century, in the modern century, and they all have a twist. It's the stories you know, but a little bit different, and it's such a fantastic run. Second, of course, Amazing Spider-Man. It's the quintessential Spider-Man. It's the main canon Spider-Man. It's the Spider-Man of this universe, the Spider-Man we all know and love. Obviously fantastic, have had different writers over the years, but it's still just a great run. Probably starting from about 99 Spider-Man onwards, when Spider-Man sort of rebooted a little bit. That's probably the best place to start reading that from. Probably around about the same time as the New Avengers, actually. And then of last, I'd say Spectacular Spider-Man. I've only read some Spectacular Spider-Man recently, and I did not enjoy it. It was just, some of the writers they had, it felt like they just didn't know Spider-Man at all. So it was kind of felt like some of the movies, in fact. But yeah, Ultimate, Amazing, Spectacular. But with that being said and done, I want to introduce something to the Captain's Quarters called the Quickfire Round, where I go through and answer a bunch of your questions that don't need long, in-depth answers, and I can get through them as quick as possible. Here we go. Do you know who the Arkham Knight is? Yes. What is your favourite game ever? The Mass Effect series, Mass Effect 2 in particular. It's been forever since the last Captain's Quarters. I have no idea what to say. Hello. Hi. So how long have you been doing YouTube? 6.5 years, I think. Cap, are you married? Oh no. Will you ever do a blind walkthrough? Probably not. If you want evidence as to why I won't do a blind walkthrough again, go back and watch my X-Men Destiny Shadow Matter walkthrough and you'll have your answer. If you could choose one Marvel character and one DC character, who would you choose? Spider-Man and The Flash. When Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out, will you play it? I don't think it's ever going to come out, but if they ever did make it, I would play that game so much. I don't know why they're not making it. Do you ever plan on doing a playthrough of Pokemon Sun or Moon? I love Pokemon, but I'll probably never do a walkthrough of it. Not only do I not have the equipment to upload from a DS, but I just don't know too much about Pokemon for it to be a great informative walkthrough. I just enjoy it. How do you manage school and YouTube? Oh, so poorly. Do you plan on using any other skins in Batman Arkham Knight? I'm just keeping with the original skin for the walkthrough of Batman Arkham Knight, but I plan on playing all the challenge maps once the original game is complete, and I'll be using all the different skins inside those challenge maps. But with that being said, that is all the questions I had for this Captain's Quarters. What did you think of this new format? Do you like this way of doing it, or did you like the big long 2-hour episode where I went through and answered every single one of your questions? I personally feel like I'm going to enjoy this more, but let me know in the comment section if you like this new way of doing the Captain's Quarters. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get around to answering them in the next video. But with that being said and done, that is the end of this episode of the Captain's Quarters. Before we end this video off, there is one last thing I'd like to introduce into the Captain's Quarters, and that is what I'm going to call our video of the month. The link to that video will be in the description to this video. Even though I have been back on YouTube for some time now, this video perfectly sums up how I feel to be back on YouTube. So go to the description, click the link, watch that video. But my name's Captain Dave, this has been the Captain's Quarters, and I'll catch you guys later.